Okay, guess we doing just fine. Said I'm not yours, so I see you're not. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Monsters video. So in today's video, I'm here to review this monster. We're doing an analysis on the upcoming monster. Her name is Fampirastral. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This monster will be available in the upcoming marathon. Yes. Okay, so this was shared by the community manager of the game, Darchable. So thank you for, you know, giving this information, sharing this information. I appreciate it. So it says the new monster in the Blood Disco Marathon, Fampirastral plus new nightmares. Okay, mighty monster alert. Okay. After a couple of wild years full of adventures and parties, Vampira's going home. She's ready to become Lady of Monsylvania. What the heck is Monsylvania? And rule along with her parents Conflat and Countless Flawless. But she's doing it on her own terms. After all, she's still a wild child. I mean, true. Look at that. I mean, she's just having fun. It looks like a teenager to me, not like a child or anything. I don't know. Vampirastral looks like a teenager. Anyways, she'll live in her own castle while she'll host rock raves every week and receive visitors from everywhere in the Monsters universe. I actually want to join that. I really do. She has a whole new way of understanding diplomacy, very different to her father's, as she likes to say. The future has arrived in Monsylvania. I actually like this. I think this is like a place or a town or something. I don't know. Or maybe a universe. Who knows? Count Vlad is organizing her homecoming ceremony which will take place on Halloween. He has a special present for her, except it's not just a present. It's a strategic move. He knows his charisma isn't enough to stay in power in this era. So he had Nicolette bring him a piece of stardust big enough to transform Vampira into a cosmic monster. You did this, Conflat? Conflat, you really turned your own daughter into what she is right now. I actually like this one better, to be honest. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this version of Vampira, or do you like the old one? I actually like this one a lot more. Though guaranteeing the future of his family, at first Nicolette was inclined to refuse such a big request, but he'd been given a home with Vlad's castle. Ever since he arrived with his brother Necromancer, who lives here too. So he felt okay, I think I pronounced that correctly, that last word. But anyways, everything is set for Vampira to become a Lady of Monsylvania and receive cosmic powers, as well as a new name fitting her new status, Fampirastral. Okay, so her lore is pretty interesting. Okay, I can't believe her own dad actually turned her into a beast. I mean, I actually like Cosmic Vampira better. What do you guys think? Anyways, we need to check out the skills before we give our opinions, okay? So let me go ahead and just zoom it in. Alright, so we have Flying with the Devil. So this is like the first skill. It is a heavy dark damage to one enemy, applies total blind and nightmares to one enemy. So it's just a total blind, nightmare, and some heavy dark damage. So here's the thing. Although we haven't seen the other skills, that skill just itself, it's not that bad. I like the total blind part. At least you're doing some damage, of course. Heavy dark damage, especially. The nightmares part, I'm not really a big fan of nightmares. I don't think it's like the best mega side effects to apply. But at least we have total blind with heavy dark damage. You know, it's something. But let's see. What else do we have? Singing for You. Deals low dark damage to all enemies. Just low. Okay. Gains as much life as damage dealt. Okay, like a life stealer, I get it. Removes positive side effects from all enemies. Okay, that's actually not that bad to end it off, because you're basically, let's say if they have area status caster dodge. Did I say area status? Status caster area dodge or something, right? Or let's say they have megataunt. If they have anything basically that helps them, as long as they don't have the positive effect protection. Everything else, you can cleanse it right away, because it removes positive side effects, right? And then you're also doing low dark damage, gaining life as well. Now, that low dark damage, keep in mind, it's not to single target. It's to all enemies, right? So here's the thing. Let's say from that low dark damage altogether, you do at least 10 to 15,000 or maybe 20,000 max, right? that much damage, you'll gain all that life back. You'll basically just lifesteal, which is decent, I guess. It's not the best thing to have because there's also negate healing that could stop it. There's also reverse healing, which isn't good. So other than that, cleansing, okay, that skill that just helps it out a little. I like that. I like the idea of that. Then we have Nightmare on the Street, which is a moderate dark damage to all enemies, applies blind, nightmares, and bleed to all enemies. So moderate dark damage, not bad, right? And it's to all enemies. Now here's the thing. If you're facing a dodge area monster, although you don't really see dodge area monsters that much nowadays, it's just Wormlat the most. Maybe Grakon, most cases you don't see Grakon. Same with Wormlat, so you don't have to worry about that. But Singing for You, after you could cleanse that, you can, let's say if they have Megataunt, you could cleanse that using Singing for You, and then with the Nightmares on the Street, you could just go ahead and do the moderate dark damage to all of them. You can apply Blind, Nightmares, and Bleed. So the Blind is a 50%, okay? It's a AoE 50% Blind or accuracy reduction, so that kind of helps. It's just a 50-50 for them to land their shots or not. And then the Nightmares and Bleed, I'm not really a big fan of it, but hey, at least they'll do some damage each turn, right? So yeah. Lastly, we have the Reaper. Low special damage to one enemy, removes positive status effects. Ooh, another positive status effect removal skill. From one enemy, gives one extra turn to itself. Okay, the Reaper, here's the thing. If you start off first with this monster, I don't know if you want to start off first because going over all her skills, I'm not sure if you should give this monster full speed or something. But if you could cleanse the Megataunt, because you do see tons of Megataunts nowadays, especially on PvP. So if you could cleanse that Megataunt right away, get the extra turn, you could probably hit them with Total Blind next. Or if you're low on life, you could go with Singing for You. You know, remove positive status effects again, do some damage, and steal the life. And if you're not low on HP, you could use Nightmares on the Street, apply Blind, Nightmares, and Bleed to them, and do some damage, of course. All of these skills, unfortunately, requires cooldown. We don't know how many turns, but that kind of sucks because, although we haven't seen the other skills, but just seeing these 4 skills here, CDA monsters could actually stop her. Cooldown activators, okay? So you gotta watch out from that. But we haven't seen all skills yet, once again. But when Social Point gives me early access to the monster, I'll go ahead and review it. So make sure you guys are subscribed and you have notifications on, and I'm gonna review all the skills. So yeah. Aside from that, here's the thing. She is in the females book, not surprised. Families book, not surprised as well. Is that villains or undead? It's one of those two. Cosmic Era book as well. Cool. So at level 150, she has about 10,336 speed, 16,640 strength, flash power, and life is 202,980. Okay. So here's the thing. Here is the thing. For the runes, right? I don't think you want to give this monster full speed. Now here's the thing. Just listen, alright? Here's the thing. If you give this monster full speed, you can. Because here's what you can do. You can start off with getting the first turn, applying Total Blind. That'll stop the enemy from attacking, you know, from doing their skill. Basically, they won't land their shots, so they'll have to end up charging. But I don't think that'll be the best scenario. Now, let's just say even if there's a Megataunt, you have your Reaper skill, I'm pretty sure you're running. You can remove positive status effect, gain the extra turn, and then apply the Total Blind. But just in general, I don't think you should give this monster full speed runes because it's just a Total Blind, and it's not to all enemies. It's just to one. Now, let's say if that was to all enemies, then you could have went ahead and probably give this monster full speed because you could have just go ahead and cleansed the Megataunt. Let's say if you were facing a Megataunt monster, you could have just gone and cleansed that and then do that. But yeah, what's it called? The runes that I prefer, I'd probably go with 3 team speeds. 3 team speeds, that's what I'm gonna go with. Either 3 team speeds or 2 team speeds and 1 speed. You could go with that as well. But I'd probably go with 3 team speeds. Alright. Aside from that, the traits. So she has evolving traits at rank 0. She's super tuned. At rank 1, you have immune to control, which isn't that bad. It's actually a pretty good trait in my opinion. Rank 3, true vision. That actually helps with the total blinds and her other negative status effects that she'll be applying, so not bad, right? Overall, I'm not gonna rate the monster because some people might disagree with me, honestly, but is the monster worth it for the upcoming race, and what lap should you go for? In my personal opinion, me and my team, what we're gonna do, although the goal was 85 laps, we're probably going to either go for 60 laps, if not 30, and that's it. I don't think this monster is that worth it. You guys can let me know your opinions in the comments, whether or not you like the monster or not. But me personally, I don't think this monster is like that insane, you know? Yeah, just wanted to give you guys my opinions on this. So we'll probably do a 30 to 60 laps, one of those two. Anyways, so it says Fampirastral is a dark supporter monster. See, support monster. So you shouldn't be giving 3 speed runes. With debuffs like positive effect removal and total blind and tortures like nightmares and blade, you can also steal life from all enemies in one go. Fampirastral has an evolving trait. You know, we already went over that. So a better support monster than this would be Ignis. Okay, Ignis is a lot better, I'd say. But let's say if you missed Ignis, let's say you couldn't get a higher rank Ignis before in the past, or let's say you missed out on the race, then go ahead and go for this one. But I don't think this monster is that crazy in my opinion. Anyways, so for the relics we have Trap and Banner. Interesting, Trap and Banner. Okay, all right, nothing too crazy. So let's review the tier 2 and 3. Okay, so did they not mention anything in here? No, they actually did mention the tier 2 and 3. What about tier 1? Let's see what we have in tier 1. We have low special damage to one enemy, applies bleed to one enemy, gives one extra turn to itself, and that is the spooky skill. I don't think it is that crazy, you know? Moon Rising, it is a moderate dark damage to one enemy, gains as much life as damage dealt, removes positive status effects from one enemy twice. Moon Rising isn't really that bad, honestly. Okay, so we have Moon Rising, and then we also have the Singing for You. Here's the thing, if you don't want to run the AoE skill, you can go ahead and swap it with the single target one. But the single target one removes the positive status effects twice, but it's only to single target, while this other one is to all enemies, but it's only one. So let's say the enemy has positive status effect protection and other positive status effects, you can go ahead and run the Moon Rising skill. It's a lot better. Then we have the ultimate here, which is called Highway to Hell. It removes positive status effects from all enemies. It deals heavy dark damage to all enemies, and then also Blade and Nightmare to all enemies. So this is, I feel like this is just like one of her skills. You know, it's like mixed. She already has the positive status effect removal skill as one of her skills, and not just that, but the deals heavy dark damage as well. Aside from the bleeding and nightmares, I mean, we've already seen that as well. So yeah, but overall, nothing too crazy. At level 100, the life is 72,384, power is 7,040, speed is 5,984. Alright, so yeah, overall, in my opinion, this monster is decent. Not the best. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it on today's analysis video. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, smash the like button, also subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.